Hello, welcome to the Hyde Collection. My name's Carl Sipes and I'm chairman of the board of the trustees here at the Hyde. I knew I wasn't going to be late today. Werner knows why. I ran into Werner at the rest area driving up here today, sitting at a picnic table. So Werner is classic. Lovely day. We talked, chatted a little bit. We're here today to celebrate the largest single donation to the Hyde since Charlotte Hyde originally bequeathed her home and art to create the Hyde in 1952. How spectacular is that? Before I introduce Aaron Coe, our museum's brilliant director, I want to thank Congresswoman Elise Stefanik and Assemblyman Dan Steck for joining us here today. I'd also like to recognize Mayor Diamond, Supervisor Stroud, QEDL President Ed Bartholomew, and City Council members. Thank you for being here today as well. I also want to acknowledge my fellow Board of Trustee members for their dedication and commitment to the Hyde. None of this would be possible without your efforts. This is why we're here today. And of course, my most sincere thanks go out to Werner Fibus. Werner, thank you for your benevolence. Thank you for your desire to share your lifetime collection of modern and contemporary art with the Hyde and with the entire community. Werner, we will make you very proud. I personally have always envisioned the Hyde as a cultural landmark, a hidden gem, something to be treasured by this community. The Hyde is a landmark that is no less significant than Lake George or the Adirondack Mountains. These are all treasures that define our communities and contribute to the overall economic vitality of the region. Our job here at the Hyde, our commitment to you, is to make this museum accessible to the public, to instill a community pride that this world-class museum is right here in Glens Falls, not in Boston, not New York City, not Chicago, but in Glens Falls. Over the last year, I believe we've had great success increasing the museum's accessibility and engaging the community in new ways. And this success and momentum is very much the byproduct of the vision and leadership of our director, Aaron Coe. We all remember, actually, how can we forget, modern nature, Georgia O'Keeffe, and Lake George, and the countless wonderful other exhibitions that Aaron has organized as chief curator. But since Aaron took the helm as director, there has been a palpable energy throughout the museum, energy that has reverberated throughout the staff, the volunteers, the board, friends, donors, and the entire community. Today's event is one more example of what can happen when that energy, that vision, and that leadership collides with the generosity and foresight of someone as extraordinary as Werner Fibus. On that note, let's welcome our director, I'm her biggest fan, Aaron Coe.
Thank you so much, Carl, for those generous remarks. I am so grateful to you for your support and for helping me through leading the charge to change the museum. And I want to thank the Board of Trustees, many of whom are here with us today, and former trustees of the museum and former chair of the museum who've also been involved over the years in stewarding this gift. I want to extend my deep appreciation to the wonderful staff of the Hyde Collection for their support and their role in this as well. Everybody plays a part, and we're one big team. When it comes to changing this museum for the better, and transforming it for you, our community. And my thanks to all of you who are present here today to witness history in the making. We are honored to share an exciting new development in the evolution of this extraordinary institution, founded, as Carl said, in 1952 by an extraordinary woman, Charlotte Prine Hyde, a woman of amazing foresight and vision who established an art museum with the expressed purpose of benefiting and enriching the quality of life for the residents of Glens Falls and the surrounding areas. A woman who was born in 1867, 2 years after the Civil War ended, who used her wealth, her social and cultural connections, and her passion for art to create a museum right here in Glens Falls, her hometown. Mrs. Hyde's trust agreement from 1952 is a remarkable document, especially for its time, because it allowed the museum to adapt and change as circumstances and opportunities arose, as if she herself could see the future unfold. Her vision for the museum was not as a fossilized institution that stays frozen in time, but one that grows and evolves with the changing times and tastes. Indeed, the museum has changed just as Charlotte Hyde envisioned it would. The first turning point occurred in 1986 when the museum launched its first major capital campaign to construct the education wing, the 18,000 square foot facility completed in 1989 that we are gathered in today. The campaign succeeded through the generosity of dozens of donors, but one donor in particular led the way, and that was Charles R. Wood. And for his leadership gift, the largest gallery at the Hyde Collection bears his name in perpetuity. Today, we are on the brink of a new chapter in the history of the museum, made possible by another extraordinary philanthropist, Werner Fibus and the late James Schmidt. Werner has made the gift of a lifetime. He is donating their entire collection of modern art to the Hyde, a total of 160 works valued at $10 million. The collection is particularly strong in works by artists of the post-war generation, including Ellsworth Kelly, Sol LeWitt, Alfred Jensen, Louise Nevelson, Bridget Riley, George Rickey, and Andy Warhol. But it also reflects Werner and Jim's broad interest in modern art, with examples by Kandinsky, Joseph Albers, Jan Arp, Giacomo Balla, Ilya Bolotowski, and many, many others. The collection consists of paintings and works on paper, drawings, prints, mixed media, and sculpture. Many of the works from the Fibus and Schmidt collection have been borrowed by major museums, including the Museum of Modern Art, the Whitney Museum of American Art, the Guggenheim Museum, and the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. But there's more. Werner has made a cash donation of $1 million, and this, combined with the value of the art collection, makes this gift the largest donation to a Capital Region arts organization in a decade. Indeed, this is the largest gift to the Hyde since Charlotte Hyde established the museum by gifting her home and its contents of art to the community in 1952. It is truly the gift of a lifetime. It's an investment in the Hyde's future but it's an investment in the future of Glens Falls. Because when one arts organization rises, we all rise. And as many of you know, great cities are characterized by their quality of life. The Hyde collection is fundamental to the cultural vibrancy of the city of Glens Falls and the surrounding area. This gift raises the bar not just for the Hyde, but for the entire community, and establishes Glens Falls as a major hub for modern art. I wanted to just tell you a little bit about Werner and Jim's relationship and history with the Hyde. It goes back to 1998, when they lent to the exhibition Capital Region Collects, curated by Randy Suffolk, who was then the curator of the museum. The relationship continued to grow under Randy's stewardship as director of the Hyde, and in 2003, the museum organized a major exhibition from the Fibus & Schmidt collection titled Formation, and we published this accompanying catalog. It's for sale upstairs in the museum store. In 2005, Jim Schmidt joined the Collections Committee, a standing committee of the Board of Trustees, and he served on this committee until his passing in 2013. In 2015, Werner donated an initial 55 works from his collection to the museum, and shortly after I returned as the director, he announced to me his intention to donate the remainder of his collection of modern art, an additional 105 works to the museum. Then, earlier this year, he informed me that he wanted to give the museum a cash donation of $1 million to create a gallery at the museum devoted to modern and contemporary art. Werner's gift is transformational. You've heard me say it before, you've read about it in the newspapers yesterday. His donation of art and cash is meant to inspire others to give to the museum. And with this gift and the donations it generates, I am delighted to announce today that we are indeed adding an additional gallery, a 1,500 square foot gallery to the Hyde. And are you ready? Here it is. And it will feature modern and contemporary art year-round for the community and beyond. The gallery is designed by Gary McCullough, our very own architect here in and the gallery will be located behind and adjacent to the Charles R. Wood Gallery, two great philanthropists side by side. We plan to open the Fibus & Schmidt Gallery next summer. We will be converting a large storage area into this state-of-the-art gallery devoted to modern art. And now I just have to share one personal anecdote with you. Back in 2002, 2003, when we were planning the Collections Wing expansion, actually JMZ Architects were the architects for the Collections Wing, which is where this storage room that I've just described is currently located, that we will be converting into the new Fibus & Schmidt Gallery. Way back then, again in 2002, we made sure it was designed in such a way that it could be converted into an exhibition gallery at some point in the future by some future director, some future staff and trustees. I just have to share this with you because I never thought, all those years ago, all those conversations I had with Randy Suffolk, sitting in his office and dreaming of the day that maybe this would happen. I never thought that I would see the day that it would happen, let alone be the director to lead the transformation. So. significantly expand our exhibition and educational programming opportunities, and it will profoundly impact the visitor experience. Nowhere else in the capital region will you be able to see old masters, works of distinguished European and American art, and now significant work of our time, including non-objective art and other forms of abstract art, including pop art, op art, minimalism, and conceptual art. But let's not forget that this transformational gift is about creating a legacy. A legacy of giving that extends directly from Charlotte Hyde's founding of the museum to the legacy left by Charles Wood, and now the torch has been passed to Werner Fibus and to the late James Schmidt. This gift of modern art ensures that the museum is as vital for the next generation as it is for us today. And it is our responsibility to steward this great legacy and to ensure that it endures undiminished for future generations. We are extremely grateful to you, Werner. We are extremely proud that we can bring this remarkable collection to our community. This collection, as Carl said, could have ended up in many larger and more well-known art museums in New York State, in Boston, Chicago, San Francisco, LA, but it has found a home here in Glens Falls at the Hyde. This is an amazing day, this is an amazing feat, and we hope you will join us in celebrating and championing this gift. At this time, I am pleased to welcome Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, who's joined us here today. We're going to make
Well, I have to say, Erin is a hard act to follow on a day like today. First of all, I want to thank everyone in the community for coming out today to show your support for such an important cultural institution in Glens Falls. I also want to take a moment to thank Erin for her leadership, for her vision into the 21st century, for her stewardship, and she spoke about the importance of legacy. Erin, your imprint is on this legacy for many generations to come, so thank you for your commitment to the region, for your commitment to the relationships with all of the supporters of the Hyde Collection. And Werner, thank you so much for your decision to invest in the future of Glens Falls, in the future of the Hyde Museum for generations to come. Arts are incredibly important to me personally. I grew up involved in the arts, both the visual arts and dance, and I have tried to be the strongest advocate I can on behalf of the arts when it comes to the importance of our economic development. As Erin mentioned, the quality of our arts institutions raises all boats in the community. If you ask many of the business owners in downtown Glens Falls, I just had a conversation with one of them, they see the tremendous economic impact that visitors to the Hyde have when they walk out proudly displaying their Hyde sticker. It is also incredibly important for our educational purposes. The fact that our students in Warren County and frankly throughout the region can come to the Hyde and see world-class works of art is truly extraordinary, and it's life-changing for our next generations of artists. I'm so honored to have been asked to be a part of it. Thank you for your tremendous gift, and I look forward to being a visitor to the new wing when we open it up. Thank you very much.
I now want to welcome New York State Assemblyman Dan Steck to the podium to say a few words.
I can't begin to tell you how nervous I am with my lack of depth of knowledge of this subject. But fortunately, that was well covered by everyone in front of me, so I can just hastily say ditto. But allow me, if you will, for just a second to put my spin and perspective on this, which I hope matches many of yours, and I know matches most of us in the community. You know, I was born and raised here. This is my hometown, Werner, and And I've been one of those school kids that came to the Hyde as a kid and felt better for it. And I reflect, I've lived around the country when I was in the Navy, and there aren't many communities that have a resource like the Hyde here in communities of our size. So while I may not be an expert, and certainly my only thing that I can think of offhand that surpasses my lack of knowledge is my lack of ability when it comes to the arts. But I certainly, I see great value in, most of us are caught up in the mechanics of life and living. Taking care of the basic essentials and working and putting food on the table, and those are all noble things and those are all important things. But certainly the arts are that next level. They separate us from the animals, and that is life, not the mechanics of life. And so while somebody with clearly not a poet, stumbles up here and tries to talk a little bit about what a gift like this means to me, having been that school kid and knowing that this is special in our community, but now as a parent here in the community with my own kid that's been here, and knowing that this is opening his eyes and seeing, exposing him to great things and beyond, the limited perspective he may have at the kitchen table of what mom and dad do for a living. This is an important thing. So while I may not be an expert on recognizing art or producing art, I certainly recognize and appreciate beauty, and I recognize and appreciate generosity. And so on behalf of my hometown and all of us here, I want to thank you for your generosity today for the Hyde and for the city of Glens Falls and the surrounding community. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. I'm so thrilled. We are so happy to have you both here today, making those wonderful remarks, and that really reverberate throughout the auditorium with everybody's thoughts today. Thank you so much for both being here. It's heartwarming indeed that you've all come here to join us today to hear more about this exciting news and to acknowledge Werner's gift to the community and to celebrate the future of the Hyde. It is truly, I have to say, your museum transformed. This concludes our program. We will be coordinating some photos on the stage, so if you have any questions for me or for the group, please stay. You can line up at the bottom of the stage here, and the staff will help direct you. And please enjoy refreshments out in the rotunda, including pastries from our good friends at Lake George Baking Company. Thank you guys for helping us out today, as you always do. And I hope to see everybody back here soon. Don't forget Durer and Rembrandt upstairs. You don't want to miss it.